Thank you, Madam President. I would also like to thank Special Envoy Hans Grunberg and USG Tom Fletcher for their briefings. Madam President, Pakistan is deeply concerned by the recent developments in Yemen. The country today faces a serious risk of sliding back into widespread conflict that could reverse the relative calm that has prevailed since the UN brokered truce of April 2022. The gains made since the truce, howsoever fragile, must not be allowed to unravel. We are particularly concerned by we are particularly concerned by recent Houthi attacks and reported civilian casualties in Al-Hudaydah, Marib, Hadramaut, and elsewhere. Escalation would only inflict more suffering on the Yemeni people and further narrow the space for diplomacy. Pakistan condemns in the strongest terms the Houthi missile and drone attacks and threats against the brotherly kingdom of Saudi Arabia. Such provocative actions pose a grave threat to regional peace and stability. Pakistan stands in solidarity with Saudi Arabia and reaffirms its unwavering support for the kingdom's sovereignty, territorial integrity, and peace and prosperity. We also strongly condemn the Houthi attacks against commercial shipping in the Red Sea, the Gulf of Aden and Bab el-Mandeb, including the 11th August attack on commercial vessel Tehama, which tragically resulted in the deaths of 3 Pakistani crew members and 1 Indonesian crew member, and injuries to 7 others. Such actions threaten regional security, undermine freedom of navigation, and jeopardize uninterrupted flow of global commerce. The safety and security of international maritime shipping and protection of seafarers must be respected in accordance with international law. Pakistan reiterates its strong condemnation of the continued arbitrary detention of UN humanitarian and diplomatic personnel by the Houthis and call for their immediate and unconditional release. Yemen's acute humanitarian needs must also remain at the forefront of this Council's attention. Renewed fighting, economic disruption, and food insecurity would further aggravate the humanitarian situation. The international community must urgently address funding shortfalls. Madam President, looking at the current trajectory, de-escalation and resumption of a credible political process have assumed more urgency. De-escalation was the key word in the 2 briefings that we have received this morning. Special Envoy called for security and economic de-escalation, while Under Secretary General Fletcher drew attention to urgency of de-escalation and proactive action on the humanitarian side. We appreciate the efforts of the UN Special Envoy to engage Yemeni parties, regional actors, and international partners, and to explore practical avenues for de-escalation. Pakistan echoes the Special Envoy's call for maximum restraint and urges all parties to halt actions that could trigger further military escalation and to engage in good faith negotiations under the auspices of the United Nations. A Yemeni-led and Yemeni-owned political process facilitated by the UN, grounded in full respect for Yemen's unity, sovereignty, independence, and territorial integrity, remains the only viable path towards a comprehensive and sustainable settlement. The people of Yemen have endured years of conflict and immense suffering. They should not be made to bear the consequences of another cycle of regional and domestic escalation. At this critical juncture, every effort must be aimed at restoring conditions conducive for a political process. And for that, you need the political will that was also highlighted by the Special Envoy. A political process for a durable and peaceful settlement. Pakistan will continue to support all sincere efforts aimed at achieving that objective. I thank you.